She's not going to be safe with the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Rachel Zegler has been described as a walking PR disaster for Disney.
Disney's CEO Bob Iger is under pressure as fans react badly to the new Snow White trailer. The trailer, with Rachel Zegler as Snow White, got over 1 million dislikes on YouTube. Fans are upset about all the CGI, saying it ruins the magic of the original. People are now wondering how Disney missed the mark so badly, with some even planning to boycott the movie. Will this backlash be the breaking point for Disney? But before we dive in, it's important to know the backlash is far worse than it seems, and what's happening behind the scenes at Disney will leave you shocked. Snow White trailer sparks outrage. The trailer debuted at Disney's D23 Expo, but instead of excitement, it sparked widespread criticism. Once online, it quickly drew backlash over casting and the film's overall look. Many saw this as an attempt to shield big companies from public embarrassment by hiding dislikes. What desperate steps will Disney take next to save Snow White from this disaster? Stay tuned, because what's coming might just be the company's biggest gamble yet. Disney initially planned to release the film in theaters on March 21st, following its online debut on August 10th. Given the negative reception, however, it seems that Disney is in for a challenging road ahead. The harsh feedback not only reflects the general public's disinterest, but also points to deeper concerns about the direction of the film itself. Many fans feel that the live-action adaptation deviates too far from the original animated classic, which is cherished by generations. But this isn't even the worst part. This early backlash suggests that the film could struggle at the box office, potentially becoming another disappointment in Disney's recent string of underperforming live-action remakes. This negative reception could force Disney to reconsider its marketing strategy or even the film's release schedule. With several months to go before the planned release, there is still time for the company to address some of the concerns raised by the fans. However, it remains to be seen whether these efforts will be enough to turn the tide in favor of Snow White, especially given how deeply rooted the criticism appears to be. Fans of the original film seem particularly vocal in their disappointment, fearing that this remake won't live up to the beloved legacy of the classic 1937 animated version. For Disney, this represents more than just a single project at risk. It's a reflection of the broader challenge of balancing modern reimaginings with the respect and reverence that fans expect for their timeless favorites. If the current trajectory continues, Snow White could be facing a tough battle to win over both audiences and critics. In an era where public opinion spreads quickly across social media platforms, the early negativity surrounding the trailer could create a lasting impression that's hard to shake. Unless Disney can find a way to address the criticism head-on, this project might join the ranks of recent live-action adaptations that have struggled to resonate with their core audience. The new Snow White live-action trailer has been met with an overwhelming wave of criticism, with many calling it one of the worst trailers in recent memory. Despite generating over 8 million views, the attention it has received is far from positive. What stands out most is the sheer volume of negative feedback, leaving both fans and critics questioning how Disney, a company known for its attention to detail and storytelling, could miss the mark so badly. The level of backlash has left many puzzled as to how the company didn't anticipate such a reaction. Fans took to social media and YouTube to voice their displeasure, with much of the criticism focused on the film's heavy reliance on CGI rather than practical effects in real locations. The original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937 is regarded as a timeless classic, and many expected the live-action adaptation to retain some of the charm and authenticity of the original. However, what viewers got instead was a trailer that felt more like an animated movie with real actors sprinkled in rather than a true live-action experience. This stark contrast between expectations and reality left many feeling disappointed and frustrated. One particular comment, which garnered over 9,000 likes, humorously pointed out the lack of real dwarves in the movie despite its live-action label. This observation struck a chord with many viewers who were quick to question the logic behind branding the movie as live action when so much of it, including major characters and settings, appeared to be computer-generated. The opening scene of the trailer, for example, prominently features a sleek, overly polished cottage that feels more like something from a video game than the enchanted forest fans know and love. This highly stylized visual approach pulled many viewers out of the experience, making the movie feel less grounded and authentic. Critics have been particularly vocal about the film's failure to strike the right balance between technology and storytelling. The polished look of the CGI cottage, the unnatural landscapes, and the absence of practical effects left many fans wondering if Disney had lost sight of what made the original Snow White so magical. Instead of feeling like a reimagining of a beloved fairy tale, the trailer has been criticized for looking more like a high-budget cartoon, which left fans longing for something more rooted in reality. This sentiment has only been amplified by a growing trend of live-action remakes that rely heavily on CGI, a point of contention for many Disney fans who feel that the company has started to prioritize flashy visuals over substance. In the case of Snow White, this reliance on CGI seems to have backfired, leading to further disillusionment among viewers who were hoping for a return to the grounded, heartfelt storytelling that Disney is known for. Fans have been quick to compare Snow White to other live-action remakes, such as The Lion King or Aladdin, both of which face similar criticisms for relying too much on digital effects rather than practical ones. Beyond the visual elements, there is also a broader discussion about the choices made in this adaptation. Fans are questioning why Disney didn't take a more traditional approach, particularly given how iconic the original film is. There is a growing feeling that Disney has underestimated the importance of staying true to the essence of the original, choosing instead to modernize the film in a way that many feel detracts from its core appeal. As the backlash continues to grow, it's becoming clear that this decision to rely so heavily on CGI has cost the film dearly in terms of audience trust and excitement. Disney at a crossroads. The online discussion surrounding the trailer is filled with disappointed fans, many of whom are questioning whether Disney even understands what audiences want from a live-action remake. The comment sections on social media platforms like YouTube and Twitter have become flooded with criticisms about the look and feel of the film, with some even suggesting that the movie would have been better off never being made. But what really stands out is how fans feel that Disney has lost sight of what makes these classic stories so special. The human touch, the emotion, and the timelessness that comes from carefully crafted storytelling and real-world effects. The overwhelming criticism of the Snow White trailer points to a larger issue with how Disney has approached its recent live-action adaptations. While the company clearly hoped to modernize the story for a new generation, the execution has left many fans yearning for the simplicity and authenticity of the original. With its reliance on CGI and its departure from the traditional elements that made the 1937 film a classic, the Snow White trailer has sparked a debate about the future of Disney's live-action remakes and whether the company is truly listening to its audience's concerns. Fans are left wondering if Disney will take this feedback seriously or continue down a path that may further alienate its most loyal viewers. The discussions continued with many saying the film doesn't feel like live action at all. Instead, they argued it comes across more like an animated movie. Some fans even nicknamed the movie Snow White and the Seven CGI Abominations. With Rachel Zegler playing the lead role, there was hope she might bring some magic to the film, but many are doubtful it will be enough to turn things around. The movie is set to release in theaters on March 21st, but there's a lot of talk that if Disney sticks to the plan, the film might face even more criticism once it's out. The backlash surrounding Disney's live-action Snow White has sparked serious conversations within the company about the future of the movie. There are rumors that Disney might be thinking about canceling the project altogether, especially with insiders hinting at that possibility. Since the release date is still 7 months away, Disney has some time to make a final decision. They could either push back the release date or decide not to release the movie at all. These internal discussions are reportedly happening every day as Disney closely watches fan reactions. It seems like the company is taking public opinion very seriously. As fans continue to express their disappointment, channels that talk about these developments are growing quickly. One channel recently hit 10,000 subscribers, boosted by viewers who are highly engaged in the controversy. The host of the channel encourages viewers to keep supporting by subscribing, liking, and sharing videos. This situation really shows how much impact audiences can have on big companies like Disney. But this isn't the worst part. It's becoming clear that fan feedback can actually influence major corporate decisions. It feels like a tug of war between what fans want and what the company planned, with the outcome still uncertain. The person running the channel continues to encourage their viewers to stay active by commenting, sharing, and expressing their opinions about Disney's new live-action Snow White movie. They stress how important it is to get the message out that this version, which relies so much on CGI, falls short of what fans expect from a live-action movie. The channel host talks about the disconnect between the use of heavy CGI and the label live action. Almost everything in the movie, except for actors Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, is animated. This has left many fans disappointed because it takes away from the authenticity they look for in a live-action film. What makes things worse is the recent political controversies surrounding the management of the lead actresses, which has added another layer of complexity to the situation. The channel creator is careful about not diving too deep into the political side due to possible restrictions on YouTube. They suggest viewers look up more information on their own if they're curious. But this isn't the worst part. The host frames this viewer engagement as key to influencing Disney's decisions. They believe that by coming together and voicing dissatisfaction, fans can push for better quality and more genuine film productions in the future. Amid the growing controversy over Disney's new Snow White film, tensions have reportedly flared between the film's stars, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. It's been said that they are avoiding each other, which is adding even more stress for their management teams. Zegler's team is particularly concerned and is urging her to take a softer tone in public. They want her to mend relations with the media and speak more positively about the film, especially by acknowledging the beloved legacy of the original animated Snow White. Bob Iger and other Disney executives are fully aware of how unhappy many fans are, and there's pressure on Zegler to align her message with the views of more traditional fans, steering clear of modern updates that some criticize as being too woke. Many expect that she will soon publicly praise the original cartoon and frame the new film as a way to bring back its magic. Despite any public relations efforts, many believe that the film simply won't live up to the original. There's a growing feeling that no matter what Disney does, this project is headed toward failure and could end up being a financial loss for the company. Fans see it as a project that misses the mark, misreading the audience's expectations and risking further disappointment for Disney. Disney has been facing a string of financial setbacks with recent projects like She-Hulk and The Marvels, both of which didn't perform as well as expected. These underwhelming results have triggered a strong response from Disney leadership under Bob Iger. The company has made major personnel changes and even canceled other upcoming projects like The Acolyte. Many see these actions as a direct response to fan criticism, especially from those who feel that Disney has strayed too far from traditional storytelling. In an effort to address some of these concerns, Disney brought in Peter Dinklage to consult on the Snow White script, specifically to handle the portrayal of dwarves in a way that felt respectful and updated. However, after an interview where Dinklage shared his thoughts, Disney decided to scrap the idea of live-action dwarves entirely. Instead, they opted for CGI characters, feeling the pressure of potential backlash. This decision represents a major shift in the movie's direction, showing how sensitive Disney is to public and critical reactions. Fans question Disney's decision to remake Snow White. This controversy is just one piece of a larger struggle within Disney as it tries to find a balance between modern values and the expectations of its longtime fans. The company is clearly feeling the weight of trying to please both sides, but it remains to be seen if this approach will work or continue to create more issues for future projects. The frustration surrounding Disney's new direction for the Snow White remake is growing, particularly with the decision to replace live-action dwarves with CGI versions. Critics and fans have voiced their disappointment, pointing out that the visual effects and character designs in the trailer seem lackluster. Many believe these choices will alienate viewers. Even Rachel Zegler's portrayal of Snow White has been criticized, with her hairstyle drawing comparisons to Lord Farquaad from Shrek, which hasn't helped the reception of her character's look. The discontent is so widespread that many, including the YouTube channel host, have openly stated they won't be watching the movie in theaters. There's a growing belief that the film will likely underperform at the box office. On top of that, reports of internal tension among the cast, particularly between Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, and others, only add to the chaotic vibes surrounding the project. This situation reflects what happens when a well-meaning consultation like Peter Dinklage's involvement doesn't go as planned. Instead of improving the project's reception, it may have worsened the public relations issues for Disney. But this isn't even the worst part. Disney's struggle to find the right balance between innovation and staying true to traditional elements has left many feeling that the company has missed the mark. Fans are increasingly frustrated, seeing the current direction as a step away from what has made Disney's stories timeless for so long. Amid ongoing conflicts at Disney, the situation with Gal Gadot has become especially tense. After the less-than-stellar performance of Wonder Woman 1984 and the cancellation of a planned sequel, Gadot's career has hit a rough patch. These challenges have only deepened with her involvement in the Snow White remake, where early promises made during her peak popularity now seem shaky due to the mounting controversies surrounding the project. Adding to the complications is the tension between Gadot and her co-star Rachel Zegler. Various reports suggest that the two have clashed frequently, with miscommunications and disagreements affecting the work environment and creating difficulties for the film's promotional efforts. The situation has gotten so bad that marketing strategies for Snow White are reportedly falling apart. Both Gadot and Zegler have been reluctant to appear together in promotional events, often citing scheduling conflicts, which many see as a diplomatic way of avoiding the real issues between them. But this isn't the worst part. The marketing plan for the movie is now in serious jeopardy. Many scheduled press events have been canceled, and if Disney cannot resolve the conflict and bring the stars together for promotional purposes, the film's marketing efforts may fall flat as the release date nears. The chances of Disney successfully smoothing over these issues seem slim at this point, and without a united front from its lead actresses, the film risks having a weak promotional campaign and possibly underperforming at the box office. It seems like the ongoing troubles surrounding Snow White have reached a point where it might take a miracle to salvage the film, or Disney's management will need to come to some kind of agreement, possibly involving increased marketing investments. With the mounting issues, it's hard to blame the actors involved. Many are already predicting the movie will be a disaster, and Rachel Zegler's early comments have reportedly done a lot of harm to the film's image from the beginning. Now, Gal Gadot is seen by some as a victim of circumstance. She simply played her role as the evil queen, but even she and her management are struggling to figure out how to promote the movie effectively given all the negative press. The situation has gotten so bad that neither Gadot nor her team seems to know how to navigate the marketing for this troubled project. If you step back and think about it, many are wondering whether this movie even needed to be made in the first place. The same could be said about a lot of Disney's live-action remakes. These films are based on classics that have stood the test of time, like Snow White, which already holds a place in cinematic history. Why tamper with that? Many fans feel there's no chance that a remake could come close to replicating the magic of the original, let alone improve upon it. Could this be the final nail in the coffin for Disney's live-action Snow White? Do you think Disney can recover from this disaster? Like and subscribe for more updates on this shocking story.